The Lord Jesus, after eating with his friends, washed their feet and said to them, "Do you know what I, your Lord, have done to you? I have given you example, so you must also do." At the heart of evangelization is the joy-filled work of touching people's minds and hearts and lives. It's touching our society, our families, our world with the healing, liberating salvation that we find in Jesus the Christ. Pope Benedict, in his inaugural address, gave this definition to the work of evangelization. He uses the language of encounter. There is nothing more beautiful than to be surprised by the gospel, by an encounter with Christ. There is nothing more beautiful than to know him and to speak to others of our friendship with him. Evangelization is simply sharing our friendship with God with others. Because this Jesus who has touched our lives, and because we have experienced and tasted the joy of the gospel, how can we do anything else but share that with our family, our friends, with our world? Our call to be missionary disciples is to bring the joy of Christ to our families, our parishes, our society, and our workplace. I love this line. I love a lot of lines from that Joy of the Gospel, the apostolic exhortation. Pope Francis writes, "I dream of a missionary option. That is the church's customs, ways of doing things, times, schedules, language, and structures can be suitably challenged for the evangelization of today's world rather than self-preservation." Evangelization matters because it has a social dimension. Justice is a constitutive part of preaching the gospel. We as missionary disciples are called to say yes to life and no to anything that diminishes, degrades, or destroys life. We are opposed to abortion, human trafficking, violence, not only because the church says it, but because we have been touched by the mercy and justice of God, and it comes out of a deep conviction that we are to stand in solidarity with those who are struggling for human dignity and life. That if anything or anyone that we say no to that diminishes human life or all of God's creation.